NSD, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. You?
Nada, just chilling, really.
Cool.
Enjoying.
Your
Yeah.
hair looks like it's getting long from the
Oh,
last.
oh yeah, I'm trying to make it long, actually. I think it fits with rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, some of you watching may not know Dennis because he's an industry secret weapon, but hopefully, after this industry, you will see all the amazing people he has worked with. Hopefully. Congratulations on your new project, Wett Cherry.
It's just a bunch of ACDC songs, man. Some of our favorite songs going back from the day with Bon, you know.
I love those ACDC covers, man. I love those.
Cool, so do we.
Yeah, I actually really like those guys a lot.
What era do you like better, the Bon Scott era or the Brian Johnson era?
Ron Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on.
So, what did you think when Axl Bros took over for a bit with ACDC?
I thought it was great. I think he had some big shoes to fill.
I,
I did a pretty good job. Don't you agree?
yeah, I actually seen that show. It was amazing. I thought Axl did a pretty good job.
They should have did Guns for Hire. That would have been a great song for them to cover.
Oh yeah, totally. So I understand that what was just for us to get out Beaks Wet, and you have some original music coming out later this year.
We
Tell.
do. Wett Cherry's going to be releasing a record in probably October, the 1st of October or late September, once it's done mixing and all that good stuff, right?
So what happened with you and Steel Mountain Crossing?
Oh, Still Mountain Crossing.
Yeah.
That was with Mark Huff. He was the guy in Quiet Riot. He got fired from that band because he couldn't remember the lyrics to "Come On, Feel the Noise." Uh, we just went our separate ways, you know. Mark is in Seattle, and I'm in New York, so there's a big gap between there. And since the COVID stuff happened, it just put it to rest, you know. But Mark's a great singer. I love him. I mean, the guy could sing his ass off. Amazing, amazing singer. And he's a cool guy. Maybe we'll do something again someday. I'd like that, you know.
Did COVID call you and Mark to have a falling out?
Did what?
Did COVID call you and Mark to have a falling out? Huh.
uh, Kind of, in a way, yeah. It kind of put us all out, you know. I've been off music for a good year, you know, just dabbling here and there on some new music and stuff. But yeah, I can't wait to get back out on the road, whoever that may be with, Wett Cherry or Steel
Ah,
Mountain Crossing or whoever.
this is probably COVID with everybody in the music industry. Hey, it's your boy COVID here. You want me to ruin the business for you guys for a bit? For an entire year and almost 2 years as well? Got you covered. Totally got you covered, guys.
That's funny. You're a funny guy.
Yeah, thank you. I know COVID had people locked in the house with nothing to do but think about things, and it caused a lot of breakups. I truly would like to see how many bands just couldn't take it and broke up during that time. There had to be so many bands. It,
I can't think of any except for us.
it just that it had to be hard because especially for small bands that just started, because then it's like COVID just took their dreams right away. Right away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I had it. I think I might have had it when it first appeared. Uh, you know what it reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of a Dimebag Darrell hangover. After hanging out with Pantera for a couple of nights, it kind of was, you know, one of those things. You know, took you a while to recover from it.
At least you didn't fire him while he was getting brain surgery. Am I right?
Quiet Riot did, I guess, from what I heard.
Do you know the original singer, Kevin Dubrow, has a brother that starts on the TV show, Bouched, the plastic surgery show?
I knew he had a plastic surgery. Yeah, something like that.
The singer from 6 Feet Under, Chris Burns, who used to be in Buffalo band Cannibal Corpse, had a brother who was a huge lawyer in Buffalo before he died in a plane crash.
Is that right?
Yeah. Just telling you some facts you need to know.
Well,
Check
thanks.
out Rock Guys. Yeah. So what made you become a guitarist?
What made me become a guitarist? Well, when I was around your age, 10, I guess, Blizzard of Oz came out, and that was a pretty great record. And the kid who used to live across the street from me, his name was Brian Tannenbaum, and his father was a drummer, and he was actually a drummer for Buddy Holly. I don't know if you're familiar with Buddy Holly or not, but he said you got to come over and you.
Died in a plane crash. David Bonner.
Yeah. He said, listen, you gotta come over and hear this new guitar player Ozzy got, and he played Crazy Train. And once I heard that, there's that one riff in Crazy Train just before the first vocals come in, and Randy does like a. And once I heard that, I said, I gotta learn how to play like that. Because before that, it was all Leonard Skinner and Jimmy Page type guys and stuff like that. A lot of guys played in the box, you know. Randy and Eddie were like one of the first couple of guys that came out and kind of played out of the box with the taps and stuff, you know.
So you have these albums called The Secret Files, correct?
Secret.
Yeah, The Secret Files. I know it's very secret. Top secret files here. Top secret albums here, okay? You understand? These are top secret albums.
Okay.
You gotta keep this between us. Got that?
Those were all the tracks that I did over the 80s and 90s and stuff. And my granddaughter found a big box of all these cassette tapes. And she said, you got like, 20, 30 years worth of demos here. You should put this stuff out. So she did. I let her do it, and she just put it all out and stuff. So that's how we used to do it in the day. We used to play along with a cassette or the record or something. We didn't really have YouTube and stuff like that. So you would learn from the record or learn from the tape and try to get it note for note, and then you would send out a cassette tape with your phone number on it, and you would send it out to people. Yeah, that's how we did it back in the day.
I've been checking them out this week, and they are awesome. So are these like demos you send these bands trying to join them?
Well, those were guitar tracks that I made specifically for the artists that were given to the managers and stuff. So I guess they were impromptu auditions that went to the managers, manager company, that kind of thing.
So I went through them, and I want to ask you about working with some of these artists on the albums.
Okay.
First, let's talk about Danzig.
Danzig. That was a good one. I was told to fly out to LA, and the day that I got there, everybody was, when I got to the office, everybody was very upset. And I asked why, and they said, well, we manage Blind Melon. And the singer, Shannon Hoon, passed away a couple of hours before I got into the office. So if that was any kind of indication of what the Danzig gig was going to be like, it was a pretty sad experience, and it pushed the whole company back at least a couple of months. So I ended up staying in LA for like 4 or 5 months, waiting for Danzig to show up, and he never came by the rehearsal studios or anything like that. But I did get a chance to meet Vivian Campbell. We were waiting for Danzig to show up, and we heard a band next door, and we thought it was a Def Leppard tribute band, but it was actually, in fact, Def Leppard. So when I went outside, Vivian Campbell was standing there, and we started talking and stuff like that. And Vivian's a good guy. So it never ended up happening. A couple of other things happened. I think Glenn lost his grandma a couple of months after that. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's what happened. So I ended up just living in LA for the next couple of years.
What about Spread Eagle?
Spread Eagle. They're a New York band. They've been in New York for a long time, and Rob and Ray. That was going to happen, and I spent a lot of time going over that music, learning that stuff note for note, That music was very out of the box as well. The guitar player was very accomplished, actually. And I remember playing with them, and Rob said, "Yeah, you got the gig, man. Let's do this." So it was all good, and I drove him home, and I got back to my house, and I got a phone call very, very late at night, probably about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was their manager. And he said, "You're a really good-looking guy, Dennis. You want to, shave for us? Because you can't have a beard and a mustache in Spread Eagle." And it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to go to work the next day. So I basically just said, and hung up the phone on him. But later that day, I got a call from Rob, and he said, "Listen, man, we can't have you in the band. The manager doesn't want you in the band." So
No one talks about your beard.
I would have shaved, but being it was 4 o'clock in the morning, it was a little late at night to ask for that.
4 o'clock in the morning at night?
I thought it was a little inappropriate.
That's a little late. I don't know if you can pull something that off at 4 o'clock in the morning. But
it was a little. I think he was in LA or something, so he forgot about the time difference or something like that.
Okay, yeah, probably that. Unless then that's just weird, I guess. If you really just shave the beard at 4 o'clock in the morning.
It was like no beard, dude. You got to shave it now, and I was just like,
dude, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
And the phone went down.
Just like, dude, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll see you tomorrow.
Seriously, right?
Yeah. And Megadeth? You also tried Megadeth?
Megadeth, yeah. That was maybe a couple of years ago, 4 or 5, maybe, has it been 3, 4 years ago or whatever? I had spoken with Justice Mustaine on the phone a couple of times, and we were throwing the idea back and forth, and we sent them the track that's on Secret Files 2 or 3, I think it's 3. Justice was a very, very, very cool guy, man. He's very much a gentleman, and the whole Megadeth camp is really, really super pro. And I'm glad they got, Kiko, because he's like the perfect guy for the job.
I think it's terrible that they kicked out my friend David Allison. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he is a nice guy. I only met him once, and it was long ago. But I wish him the best. I'm sure he'll come back with something pretty cool, though.
And he gets kicked out for something.
He'll be back in Megadeth sooner than we all think, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he gets kicked out for something stupid, and Tommy Lee did something worse, and he gets $1 million, and They're making a TV series about it with the dude from the Avengers. It's crazy
Yeah,
to me.
yeah, I saw something about that. I saw something about that. I think Dave's a very, very he's a very intellectual musician, man, and he's gonna be back sooner than ever. He'll be back sooner than you think, my man.
Yeah, I really hope so. But that stuff
Yeah,
just
he'll be
makes
back.
me stay up all night, dude. That stuff makes me stay up all night. You have done some stuff for Ozzy and Judas Priest and Marilyn Manson.
Uh, Manson, yeah, that was a long time ago. Ozzy, I've been sending stuff to Ozzy since I'm your age. Judas Priest, I've never sent anything to Judas Priest. I'd love to. I did. I was in contact with Rob and his manager some years ago. Uh, I think his name was John Baxter, but I don't think he's with them anymore. I think they got a new manager with Priest and stuff. But yeah, that was good stuff. That's when Rob was doing the two. It was kind of like um, a little bit of a different thing. He was working with Trent Reznor, and they were going for like a little bit of a different sound at that time, you know. But if you ever get a chance to listen to two is really good stuff.
And you worked with Puff Daddy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The P Diddy and the fam, the whole family over there. Biggie and Little Kim and Mace. I worked under a guy named John Eaton. John brought me in, and I did guitar tracks for all those guys. Great people, really down to earth, super nice people, and it was a pleasure.
So were all these people pretty cool or not at all of them?
They were all really cool. You know, you meet a lot of people in the business, you know, and you try to be nice to everybody, and you know, you just try to play as hard as you can. That's what I do. I try to keep my mouth shut and you know, do the best I can. That's what I do. I play for other people, you know, and sometimes you write the song, sometimes you don't, you know. But the most important thing is that you get up there every night. And you know, you just you give the best you can, you know.
So when you were a kid, the principal of his school pretended to be Max Norman and called Sharon Osbourne?
Yeah, I was in a I was in a I was taking music classes that was in a different school actually, and we would bring our instruments in, and we would have battle of the bands and stuff. And the principal called me out of class one day, and he said, "Listen, Ozzy is looking." This is just before Zakk Wylde, after Jakey Lee. So he called me into his office and he said, "Listen, Ozzy's in town and he's looking for a guitar player, and I know where he's staying. He's staying at the Parker Meridian." So he called the Parker Meridian and he said, "Oh yes, this is Mr. Max Norman. I'm calling for Sharon Osbourne," and they put him right up to it. And Sharon answered the phone, and she was on speakerphone, and she didn't appreciate that very much. She went ballistic, and he said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, whatever. I'm actually the principal of Horizon Lane School in Levittown, New York," and blah blah blah. And she, and he said, "Well, let me put you on with Dennis because he's the guitar player that you guys should take a look at." And I get on the phone with her, and she said, "All right, come into the city and let me know when you get there." So he gave me, he bought me a cab. He called a cab, and the cab picked me up and took me to my house because that's where my other guitars were and that kind of stuff. And I made a quick tape, and he actually gave me money for the train to go in. So I went into the city, and I got to the Parker Meridian Hotel with my tape, and I told the front desk I was here, and Sharon got on the phone. She said, "All right, I'll be right down." And they said, "Go sit over on the couch over there." So I waited about 10 minutes, and I chickened out and I ran out of there as fast as I could. I thought Sharon might have, she might have been extra, mad. But I think back at it, maybe I should have stayed. Maybe I would have got the gig.
Maybe. You never know. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. You worked with the metal band Mayhem. I bet you have some crazy stories about that. Can you share any with me?
Mayhem?
Yeah.
And with pig heads and that kind of stuff and blood and Attila Cesar and those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to make sure, because great musicians, really, really great musicians. Attila's like the Peter Gabriel of black metal. Super creative guy. And Hellhammer is the greatest drummer in the world. And Jorn does a great job of keeping that band rolling. They're like a tank. They're just gonna keep rolling. And Morton does a great job. He's got some very big shoes to fill. And Morton, I believe he was in Gorgorov. And he does a great job playing guitar for that band. And I'm glad they're rolling. Attila's son does a great job in the Mayhem movie. Did you see the Mayhem movie yet?
Yeah.
It's pretty scary, right?
Yeah.
Lords of Chaos? You didn't see it yet?
Yeah, I did see it. No. Did you burn down any churches for them, like in that movie,
Did I do what?
Did you burn down any churches for them?
No, I just handled the churches in the New York area. That's about it.
Okay, you didn't burn any down? Okay, we can still talk. Okay, I would just end the call right immediately. So, did you ever party with anybody cool like Lemmy or Tommy Lee?
Lemmy was a good guy. I met Lemmy at a club in New York City real late one night when they were closing, and him and Mickey D, great guys. I couldn't understand a word he was saying for the first 2 or 3 days that I was hanging out with Lemmy, but he was a great guy, and I miss him a lot. He was a really, really good guy. Probably the most down-to-earth rock star you ever want to meet.
So, going over your albums and everyone that worked with those who's left, would you love to make music with them?
Would I love to make music with who?
Anybody?
Yeah. I think I'd like to collaborate with Philip H. Anselmo.
Yeah, I would actually.
Ozzy, Kiss. Gene Simmons is a great guy to jam with, from what I've heard, and I'd love to do something with Gene. Who would you like to play with?
What? Who would I like to play with? Yeah. I would like to play with Ozzy, and I would like to play with Queen, and I would also like to play with Kiss. I really like those guys.
Yeah, me too.
And Marilyn Manson. I almost forgot Marilyn Manson. I also beautiful people, there are beautiful people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched that earlier when I was like a kid, and that terrified. I thought it was Slender Man. Did you remember the Slender Man fiasco?
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. You could see him. He did the New Pope. Did you see him with the New Pope? That show?
No, sadly not.
It's pretty funny. Check it out. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Okay. Let's say you can form a supergroup. Who would you have join you?
A supergroup with me in it?
Yes.
My supergroup. That's a good question. That's a very good question. Boy, there's a lot of guys. Who do you think would be a good supergroup for me to play with?
I think you should definitely play with Ozzy, okay?
Yeah.
Kiss and Metallica.
Well, I don't think those guys are looking for guitar players, but I'll keep my fingers crossed. Who do I think would be a great supergroup for me to play with? I think Priest would be good if they're looking somebody. I think Richie Faulkner and I would be a really good team together. And I'd love to be. I think a supergroup would be like Gene Simmons' solo band. I mean, I'd love to jam with those guys. Those guys are pretty good. Dee Snider, he's not bad. I wouldn't mind joining his band.
Dee Snider and Twisted Sister, yeah. Maybe JJ French, maybe if you can get him. JJ.
Something like that, you know. Being there from Long Island, they have a big influence over a lot of New Yorkers here, you know.
Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley.
I love Ace. I love Ace. I would play rhythm under Ace anytime he wanted to.
Any plans on doing any shows this summer?
Not this summer. We're hopefully Wett Cherry is going to be able to do at least 1 or 2 shows before Halloween. Got a Halloween show coming up, and some of the clubs around here still haven't opened up yet. So we're still waiting for some of the clubs in New York and Long Island to open up before we could get in there, you know.
What would be your dream tour if you could make the lineup?
A great tour.
Yeah.
I would probably say like Dennis Fest, sort of like Ozfest. All right, I would say the first band to go on would be Sepultura. The second band would probably be the Misfits. I'd probably say Superjoint Ritual, Sabbath. Is that good enough? Would you buy tickets to that show? I know I would.
That. I would love that. If I got the meet and greet, I would just be like, yes, that is an amazing show. I'm just giving this reasons why I was giving the slow clap. I was just gonna.
Yeah, I'd be right there the whole way, man, just banging. And I love Sepultura. I think they're one of the best bands out there, and Max and those guys they're great musicians, you know.
Michael Graves from Danzig, maybe too. Michael Graves or Danzig. Michael Graves or Danzig.
He's all right, but I'll take the Misfits with Glenn singing.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to keep doing this for a bit. Okay. I'm just giving you a hard time, man. What is your favorite memory from playing a show?
Favorite memory? I was in Puerto Rico doing a show, and a girl actually was trying to climb over the barrier, and I kind of, tried to meet her halfway, and she just started making out with me, like, unbelievably, amazingly. There's some really pretty girls in Puerto Rico.
You're lucky.
That was a good memory. I played pretty good that night, you know. It's always nice to see the fans' appreciation, you know.
You get that play good. You play the game well. Well, not better as me. Now let's go into the story about how my life got met my love. Well, 2 loves and maybe 4. So let's get into the story. So in 2nd grade, okay? Let's go into it. So 2nd grade. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just teasing you, man. What is your worst memory from playing a show?
Well, I mean, playing for as long as I've been playing is, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy being greasy. It's not easy being a musician these days. It's a lot of waiting. You know, I find myself waiting in airports and buses and things like that. And, you know, you get up on stage and you play your hour or even less, sometimes without any lights or without, you know, proper monitors or sound or anything like that. So, you know, we just try to do our best, man. You don't really want to focus on the bad things. You know, you just want to get back up and keep rolling, you know.
What is next for you?
What is next for me? The new Wett Cherry is coming out in October, and that's about it, man. So we're wide open to jam. I mean, if you get yourself a guitar,
yeah, I already have.
You and I'll jam and put something together.
Oh, me and you try to do something together?
Sure.
I gotta work on it a little bit.
I can throw you a couple of pointers here and there. Get some arpeggios in and some sweep picking and all that good stuff.
Okay, all right, thanks, man. All right, the new Wett Cherry ACDC 3 Fear is out now, and the new WC album, The High and the Divine, is available September 1st, 2021 on Silver Press CDs. And also, Dennis is available at Dragon City Demo Bandcamp. Yep. Just telling everybody, the fans, so they can go check you guys.
I really appreciate it, man. I really, really appreciate everybody taking the time to do this and make this happen. Your dad and yourself and all of your subscribers. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It lets us know that you care. And I want to thank everybody for shopping at Dennis D and Jam Man today. And we hope all of your Jam Man Dennis D needs were satisfactorily met today. And if there's anything else, man,
All right. Well, thank you for being on my show, man. I hope the next time we talk is at the backstage at one of your shows, dude. Please.
Appreciate it, Jam Man. I really do, buddy.
Man, it was a really great interview. Devil Horns! Peace.
Cool, bro. Peace.
Peace.